driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
I know Ingrid's here because she already liked the video. Good. Did you guys get notifications? If you could just say yes or no, that'd be awesome. It still didn't carry the title over. But if you didn't get a notification, then there's another step I need to take. So, and maybe Gary. And we don't know who that other person that's on. Who could it be? Gretchen. Welcome. I'm not sure. I'm not sure you've been on before, but welcome. This is a daily trudge, and it's usually done twice a day. Because Dion likes to talk a lot. Of course, with me working, I won't be able to do it twice a day. Anyway, so we do the daily trudge every day, and we a lot of times we'll go over the daily reflection, or sometimes I bring up topics, but really it's about getting the conversation started and stuff. So, okay. Usually I'm pretty good with catching them, so welcome back then. It's good to have you. You got one this time, but not last. This morning, people weren't getting them, so I went and redid it. So if you got them, awesome, good, it worked. All right. I was wondering why my count was low. So I use something called Restream, and sometimes it just, the information going back from Restream to Facebook starts to get muddled. So you kind of have to, it's like a reset on it that I have to do, where I just get rid of everything and start it all over. You won't see any difference except getting the notifications and the title following through to the final video. So, but I want to talk about advocating. All right. So my therapist gave me a couple of resources to get an ADHD assessment done, right? So I called this company a little while back. Mile High, I'm just going to tell you who it is, Mile High Psychiatry. Don't use them. And you're going to find out why I did. And I went through this process because something was up. So the first time I called, I told them I just need an assessment done. And they were very confused on what I wanted. Okay. Flag number one. That was the first flag, that they didn't understand me. Okay. I'm talking their verbiage. What does that mean? It means the person on the other side of the phone is a salesperson. That's what that means. Right. And I happen to have gotten a newbie, I think, this time, because I told him, he's like, well, continuing care. I'm like, nope, I don't need a therapist. I just need an assessment. That's all I need. And any therapist or counselor should understand that. Pretty easy. And you understand it. Right? So they gave me a call back. They were like, and he came back on the phone. He's like, yeah, we can't do that. We like for people to stay on after. Well, that makes sense. You're a business. Okay. Then I get a call back. Oh, no, we can absolutely do that. And it was a call from a different person. This person was a little bit slicker, talked faster. And I had a feeling I was talking to somebody that was... Here's the thing. The more appointments they book, the more money they make. The more appointments they book, the more money they make. How is that conducive to somebody like me with a mental health problem? It is not. So they told me that they could do it. And I had my appointment at 2, and it lasted about 5 minutes. Here's how it went. Oh, my camera isn't working again. Oh, that's okay. We don't need it. In order to do an assessment, okay, I knew something was up because number one, they said that they could do the assessment over telehealth. No, I don't really. I was like, I thought you couldn't do that. Maybe it freed up, gave benefit of doubt, right? I'm going to go find out after this whether you can or not. It's real easy. You just punch it in Google. It'll tell you, right? So I'm talking to her and I can't remember the word assessment. And that's kind of frustrating me because she's not trying to help me figure out the word, even though she knew what it was. And she avoided the entire word assessment. Right? So she goes into, what drugs are you taking? And I said, are we doing an assessment? She would not answer that question. She wouldn't answer it. Finally, she said, what do you think we're doing here? And I said, this doesn't feel like an assessment. I've been through these. And then she rolled her fucking eyes at me. Boop, gone. Gone. This wasn't necessarily, yeah, it was a setup to get me on board with them. Because the one thing that she brought up was, I can give drugs. I told them I don't need drugs. I don't want drugs. I just want the assessment. This is what we call, you can call it bait or switch or whatever you want. I just call it fucked up. I call it disgusting. Now we know why we are 49th in the fucking United States when it comes to mental health. When it comes to mental health for children, we are almost dead fucking last. No good. So, what is that? That's advocating. See, I was also going through this because if they were going to be able to do what they said they were going to be able to do, we need that. I need assessments done now. Now, not just for me. I have a bunch of clients that need assessments right now. And if they would have did what they said that they did, they would have gotten a shit ton of clients for it. But because they decided not to, and I didn't say anything. I didn't tell them it was a test or anything, but it was a test. I did that with Overcomers Counseling too. They pass the test. I love Overcomers Counseling. They are fan-fucking-tastic. Right? So why would you tell me you can do something that you can't while you know that I'm going through something? That's got to not feel good. So what is advocating for yourself? It is speaking up when things are not correct. It is saying something. When I was going through my gallbladder surgery, it's a great example. I didn't go about it. I couldn't help myself. So when I was there the first day, they didn't give me my head meds. And I told them, I said, if you don't give them to me tomorrow or by tomorrow morning, you're going to have a much different Dion on your hands. And apparently they didn't believe me. And the next day I pulled everybody in there and I said, what the fuck is your guys' problem? I told you I need those meds or you would have a different Dion today. So here we are. And I kept them in there for 10 minutes explaining why you don't fuck around with people's meds. Oh, well, we thought it was their excuse that they said was we felt like it was a high amount. And I said, so what you're saying is you don't believe me. That's what you're saying. You're saying me as your, why would I lie about that? You don't get high off Cymbalta. You don't. No. I'm going to tell you what it is. The hospitals are set up that way intentionally. They don't want you to make it. They want you to come back. They want to keep feeding you pills, right? So, especially if you are in the ER, advocate for yourself. Advocate. Say something. This is how I start. I feel the need to advocate for myself. That's what I say. And then I do it. Right? I want to see what Ingrid had to say here. 20 years living with a disease that doctors don't know how to treat or what causes it teaches you to become an advocate instead of being a guinea pig. Yeah, I got tired of that shit too. Oh, we're going to try this new thing. No, you're not. You know, just like, here's the thing. They're like, oh, he's here for ADHD. You must want drugs. No, that isn't what I want. You want to know why I want it? I might be. Or are you talking to Ingrid? I might be bipolar. Mm. Um, I am diagnosed with depression and PTSD. So that might be what you're seeing if you're asking me that, Gretchen. You might see my PTSD, my anxiety goes a little bit like that, especially when I talk about things. So, why else do we need to advocate for ourselves? Stigma. Stigma. I've got a great example for stigma, right? Got a great one. It's called detox. Ah, okay. And I'm presuming, Gretchen, that you're seeing some of you and me. I like if you can let me know kind of what those are, because if you're seeing something in me, I'm always willing to take a look. If it's gonna make me, if it's gonna make me better so that I can help God's children more, I'm gonna look at it. Right? I need to look at that. And really, and thank you for bringing it up with that way, Gretchen. That was it was a good way to bring it up. I mean, it was straightforward. It wasn't mean at all. So that's how you do that stuff. Good job, Gretchen. And great. So now I may be bipolar also. I laugh because I've got so many mental illnesses. It's like pick a card, pick a card. Which one are we today? But the thing is even though I do have all those mental illnesses, I laugh because every time I find out that I have another mental illness, I get stronger. I do. Every every single time. The way I see it is this. Because I have PTSD, because I have anxiety, because I have depression, and because I have worked through them and continue to work through them, you don't stop. I'm capable of helping more people than just the normal alcoholic because I have more experience with things. I put myself through these experiences, like with what I was just talking about with Mile High. That is a form of advocating for our community. When I got cut off, when my Medicaid got cut off, when they went to a different type, my therapist was just gone. So I set out to find a company that would continue to take care of us no matter what happened to Medicaid. And I found them in Overcomers Counseling. I've probably referred well over 20 people there by now. And not one person has come back to me and said, that was awful. And it's because the therapists there love their job, because the owners there and this is how you do it. You take very good care of your employees, and they will take very good care of your customers. That's how it works. You know what? I'm gonna actually tell a little something on advocating where I wasn't the one that advocated. I was the one being advocated to. On what was it? Friday. I was setting up the meeting at Detox. We hold a 3 p.m. Zoom meeting, and it was the first time I'd done it, and I had some anxiety going on, and some guy was trying. He wasn't trying to argue with me, and I just took it that way, right? And um, he was just trying to get something across, and I ended up going back to him and saying, "Hey, you were right. That was a little disrespectful. I apologize for that." And then we got along great. We got along great. He doesn't deserve that. Why? Because I'm being paid. Why? Because I'm in a position of power. Yeah. Even just saying that puts a bad taste in my mouth. I don't like that. But it was a great reminder. Dion, these people deserve respect. Okay. And I'm glad that he did that because it changed my attitude for the rest of my shift. And so stigma and advocating is actually how we fight stigma. And even then you can't really fight stigma because it just does, otherwise it just goes like this, right? Trying to shove your opinion down somebody else's throat is never a good way to go about it. So how else can we do it? You can do it by example. Here's the thing, okay? Even at work, I get treated a little differently because, and I notice it because I'm the only person really in recovery on the floor, and I act differently. Right? They were telling me I could have a desk, but it was going to be clear down at the end of the hall, and the clients can't get to me. No, I'm supposed to be available, so I'm going to take over a discharge desk, which is like 20 feet from the day room. I should never be 20, 30 feet away from the day room at all times. Because if I hear somebody talking in there, I can go in and direct the conversation. Or when I was there and I went in on my second day, I told everybody because I had seen them the day before, right? I said, okay, you guys need to realize I'm not everybody else here. I'm a peer support specialist. That means I know what you're going through. I also have resources. What do you need? And you should have seen their eyes. It was like it made me want to fucking cry because why? Why wasn't like it? Why wasn't it like it that before? And that hurts. So we don't, and even as far as detox goes, everybody else is on a new phone system. No, we still got the same crummy phones. Everybody else is electronic. You said no, not a detox, where we have the most paperwork in the shortest amount of time because detox gets the least amount of things. Why? Why? I want a good answer to that. And you're not going to be able to provide me with one because it's not it's not valid, period. It's no good, period. And I've actually kind of brought that up a little bit to some of my fellow employees. I have talked to my boss when I was getting to know Malcolm, who's runs Detox. I told him at one point, I said, "You guys create stigma here. Why do people have to start out at Detox?" Right? Because whenever you start a new job, you're low on the totem pole, no matter how old you are, what it right? And you get to do the grunt work. But why is Detox that? Why is the crisis center that? See, the crisis center is right below us because mental health and addiction get lumped together all the fucking time. Why? Because they look almost exactly the same, right? It does. That's why I say, wait 6 months to get sober, give yourself that chance and then see if you need to be diagnosed with anything. Because a lot of times, AA and the steps will take care of some of that trauma, but not all the time. Sometimes we'll have to seek outside help. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. Um, I heard one of my fellow employees say on Thursday, "Oh, I don't know why we hold those meetings. They never go. They're ungrateful." I heard this from yeah. I did not get upset with her. Why? It's not her fault. She's been put in a position to fail. She can't help these alcoholics, and she's very fucking frustrated about it. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. It's not her job to do that. It's mine. It's my job. It's our job as people in recovery. It is our job. Okay. Let me put it this way. I'm gonna make a very bold statement here. If every person in AA, every person went to a treatment meeting or a detox meeting once a month, just one time a month, and everybody did that, our rooms would be fucking packed. You wouldn't need to scramble wondering if somebody is available and they're going to ask you to sponsor them because there will be so many newcomers, everybody's sponsoring. What is that? That's advocating. Okay. So I have a budget. I found out I have a budget. Me alone. Mine is my budget. And you know what I'm going to do? If I have, I don't know what the amount of the budget is. I'm going to turn the day room posh. That's what I'm going to do. Even though it's in a piece of shit building. Why? Because these people should not have, I mean, it's so static. It's so static. And it feels like I'm in a fucking mental institution there. And I've been in mental institutions. That's not really a surprise, is it? So we do a lot of things that advocate for ourselves. Some total, okay, I don't even know what that was. So, hi, Kathy. Good to see you. I hope you're having a good week. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I turned 53 yesterday. Um, and I had a great day, man. That was probably the best birthday I've ever had. And I'll tell you why. Because I didn't worry myself about whether people were going to contact me or not. And my kids didn't call me. But I was still able to have a good birthday. That was the first time that I was able to do that. So proud of myself for that. Thank you, Gretchen. I appreciate that. So when you're out there, what is the best way to advocate? By example. When you do things by example, and that's how I work. That's my motto. Our motto for trudging together is leadership by example. Okay. And I'll tell you what happens. A lot of people come in, they join, they hang out for a little while, they get what they need, and then they go off and they do something beautiful. And I love it. I love watching it. Trudging together seems to be a good springboard for everybody to enhance their sobriety. And I did not plan that. I've just kept the group, whatever the group is. I don't keep people out. I very rarely have to delete posts. I've only had to like kick out one person. Okay? And what does that mean? It's attraction rather than promotion. Each person that's invited to Trudging Together, it's intentional. We want you to be a part of. And various people post there because recovery is different for everybody. I'm not an NA member, but we've got an NA group in there, Chain Breakers. In fact, Miss Johnson was on our show. Did everybody forget we have podcasts? I've tried to do one, but I kept getting canceled on, and it's not my huge priority. So, but we've got 70 podcasts, and every single one of them are fucking badass. Um, it's called Raw Recovery, and it's called Raw Recovery for a reason. Okay, I have a lot of empathy, and when people sit down and talk with me one on one, they open up. That's my God's gift. And you know what I do when that happens? I hold their feelings like a little baby. Mhm. The whole time. I can do that for somebody. That neat. That neat. Can you go up to somebody and love them for exactly who they are, even though you never met them? See that when I was talking earlier about that guy that advocated to me, what we got out of that was love. Because by the end of the night, we were laughing and chucking and yucking it up, man. You know, why not? What laughter? I wonder what the other employees have been working there for a while. There's so much laughter coming out of there. It's what I want. It's what I want. And that's because people are coming in. Please go to detox meetings. Please, I'm begging you. You're gonna find something so fucking beautiful. But I can't tell you what it is. You gotta experience. All right. That's what I got for today. Well, that's what I have for now. I could probably keep talking for another half hour easy. Um, but I have my 3 o'clock meeting in 6 minutes. So I suppose I ought to get to that. We had Gretchen here, who I thought was new, and I over explained everything. Thank you. We had Ingrid. Good to have you here. And Kathy was here for the last portion of it. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Um, let's claim spiritual progress before we go. Everybody ready? Good job. All right. We've claimed spiritual progress. Good job, everybody. Thank you for being here. I love you. I really do. You remember on those days when you don't feel like anybody loves you? I do. Absolutely. Peace out and have a day.